Hello and welcome back to NorCal 715. Today I have an Acurus DIA 100 amplifier, a Bose 901 Active Equalizer, and a Bose 901 Series III Active Equalizer that the same customer brought to me to be checked out. So let's check each one out individually. Alright, so before I get started, here's a view of the Acurus DIA 100. The internal view, so you can take a look around, see what's in here. It has a nice big toroidal power transformer. Bridge rectifier mounted on the chassis for heat sinking. A couple of big filter caps. And then here is the other channel over here. Here's all the input selector switches back here on the back. Looks pretty nicely laid out. Alright, so I have the amplifier connected to my ancient Sencor SG165 AM/FM stereo analyzer, mainly using it for the watt meter purposes only. I have an 8 ohm dummy load connected to this unit, and I have my ancient Leader LBO516 oscilloscope hooked up to the right and the left channels. So let's go ahead and bring the volume up. Let's take it up to the point of clipping. So right there is just under clipping, and I have, according to my old meters, exactly 100 watts per channel. But if I take it into clipping, I definitely have more. So there is right at the clipping level. So I'm going to say the amplifier is working absolutely perfectly. So I have some YouTube copyright-free audio going into it right now just to verify that everything is absolutely fine. And I've got it up to the point of clipping. You can see it on the scope occasionally. And so the average audio is between 10 and 25 to 30 watts right now. We'll take it up to the point of severe clipping. It sounds fine. Both channels are working great. So I don't think there's a problem with this amplifier whatsoever. Everything's working great. So here is the Bose 901 Series III Active Equalizer. So this is when Bose actually made stuff, good stuff. Look at the wiring on this. Look at how it's built. This thing is designed great. Just look at the point-to-point wiring back here, where they had somebody actually soldering the wires to the terminals. Look at the connections up here. The good quality capacitors they used. I mean, they didn't skimp at this point. Now, Bose is just Chinese-made junk, unfortunately. Well, let's get this guy hooked up, and we'll see if it actually does anything. Well, here it is connected and running. That's definitely some high frequencies. That works great. It's working great. I can't find any problem with this whatsoever. Working absolutely perfectly. Let's try the tape input. It's working great too. It might be hard to tell on the camera, but as I'm changing these controls, it definitely is making a difference. More bass, less bass, more highs, less highs. It's working absolutely perfectly. I don't find anything wrong with this unit at all. Well, let's check the other one. The only thing I see is there's no indicator light right here. And so there's a little neon indicator right here to tell you when it's connected. And it's just flopping around loose in there. It's not connected to anything. So I think I'm just going to take it and put it back up in here where it's supposed to be. Still can't really see it behind that indicator whatsoever. And I'll just go ahead and hot glue it down in there, so in a dark room it will indicate. Alright, so I've got the LED lined up with the indicator on the front. Got my hot glue gun. I'm just going to squirt some glue down in here. We'll let it dry, let it cool as the case may be. Okay, so there is the indicator light. Off, on. It's got a little bit of a flicker, but that's most likely because of the old NE51 neon indicator just out of life. It's been used up. So let's take apart the other Bose 901 Active Equalizer, hook it up, and see if it works. So here is an internal view of the Bose 901 Active Equalizer, not the Series 3. So it looks very nice inside. Once again, if we look back at the jack panel, all point-to-point wiring, no pre-molded jack panels. We look up at the front, once again all hand-soldered point-to-point wiring. There's the neon indicator like we saw on the Series 3. It's just a very nice designed unit, very nice. I really wish they made stuff like this today. So let's hook up some audio to it and see if this guy works too. Well, this one does work, however, if I remove the output jacks, I only get one channel. No right channel operation whatsoever. I can take my RCA jack and touch it to the right channel input, and I can hear muted bass. That channel sounds great. That channel sounds bad. If I just touch the RCA jacks together, it sounds great. But when I plug it in, I get a lot of bass, but no treble. What's going on? That channel sounds great. This channel is very bassy. So we need to follow the white lead back here as it comes into the board and check all these caps to see what's going on. There's absolutely no ICs in this unit. It was before integrated circuits. So it's all discrete transistors and capacitors and resistors to make this unit work. But I'm still baffled. Why is it bassy here, but I have great response here? So I think I'm just going to go ahead and ESR these capacitors first and see if any of them check bad. So I've got my ESR meter here, and I'll short the leads, and I get 0 ohms. That's good. The power is removed from the unit right now. So let's check the power supply capacitors. 0, that's good. 0, good. 0, good. Now these are some of the input-output capacitors. I see 2 here, then 3, and 3 more. Half an ohm, that's fine. That one is absolutely open. Half an ohm, that's good. About 3 ohms, 2 3/4. Once again, just over 3 ohms, about 3.1 ohms. Open. Half an ohm. Open. Open. And open. So we got some bad caps. So let's go ahead and change probably all 8 of these capacitors and see if we get better results. Okay, so I've made myself a little road map of the colored leads that need to reattach to the board. The white, green, the green, the white, the yellow, the other white, green, and the other green. And so the common back here connects between the two commons to a ground point and the other two commons, but nothing else ever connects. So it must get its ground potential from the circuit board being screwed down to the chassis. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect these back leads because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leads I need to pull, as opposed to unsoldering the rotary switch and all the input jacks on the front of the board, as well as the AC input. Okay, so I've got the leads unsoldered, and we can take a look at the bottom of the circuit board right now. Look how well this is designed. You just don't see stuff like this anymore. So there's where the inputs went, the green and the green-white, and then the other leads are shielded, sort of, underneath the chassis. And look at that tag they actually put on there, model 901E, MO2278, and serial 105434. You just don't see stuff like that anymore. Prelco Corp, Lowell, Massachusetts. So let's go ahead and unsolder these 10 capacitors back here on the back of the board, and we'll replace it with the newer, updated, very smaller electrolytics and see if we get better results. Okay, so I've got all the capacitors unsoldered back here. Let's just go ahead and start pulling them out. Oh, look at that. The leads actually detached from those two caps. So these two capacitors had the leads actually corroded off of the bodies. So they're not going to work at all. Now these small caps are 35 volt, 5 microfarads, and the large ones are all 100 microfarad, 16 volts. So the replacements I have are 4.7 microfarads at 50 volts and 100 microfarads at 25 volts. Okay, we've got all the caps mounted. Now we just have to solder them in place. Alright, now we'll trim the leads. Alright, all the leads have been trimmed. It's completely recapped. That's it. I didn't recap the power supply because they all tested good. But I did recap all the audio preamplifier stages. So, let's solder the leads back on. These guys right here. And these, I didn't even have to take those off. Alright, so I have my YouTube copyright-free audio playing. It's all back together. There's the right channel. There's the left channel. They're both working great. So there's the treble knob, low treble, high treble. Below 40, contour, high frequency, high treble. It's working perfectly. So let's go ahead and make sure the tape inputs work as well. So there's one channel. There's the other channel. They're working great. Put it back to normal. That's it. Just need to be recapped. So the Bose 901 Active Equalizer lives again. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this video on the Bose 901 Active Equalizer, the Bose 901 Series III Active Equalizer, and the Acurus DIA 100 Audio Power Amplifier. If this video has helped you, please consider making a donation on my YouTube homepage with the PayPal donate button or at paypal.me/norcal715. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring that bell to get future notifications. Remember, with your help, we can keep these things out of the landfill out of the recycle bin and out of the e-waste facility. Thanks for watching. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.